Up next is a takeaway. Lisa Gansky, author of The Mesh, is going to share some practical advice for entrepreneurs dealing with today's marketplace.
I'm Lisa Gansky, and I'm the author of The Mesh, Why the Future of Business is Sharing. I am also a serial entrepreneur and have started a number of technology companies, mostly consumer products related companies. And I'm also a fairly active fan of the environment. Let me tell you a little about what The Mesh is. The Mesh is really a fundamental shift in our relationship to stuff in our lives, in our personal lives, in our communities, in our businesses. It's about having more and owning less. And it's really based on the fact that we have a wealth of technology available to us. This is the first time in history that we've been so connected to so many people. And that really affords us a real opportunity to think about resources sharing and tools and business models in very new ways. So that's what the Mesh is about. It might be better to give you some examples of Mesh companies. Some that you're probably most familiar with are companies like Netflix. So, for example, Netflix, we don't own the films. We're used to just having them when we want them. So we have access, not ownership, through Netflix. Another one would be Zipcar, or in some places, City Car Share. And those are car share models that, again, people don't own the car, but we use technology to have access to the car when we want it. And the type of car and where it is and where we drop it off is all a function of the service and the information that they have about us and our ability to make reservations and walk up to a car with a mobile phone and unlock it and get in. I think that the Mesh is the future of business for a number of reasons. I was reflecting on my own experience. The last company that I started was a company called OPhoto, actually by a few minutes, but we were the first photo sharing service that launched also a printing platform. And one of the things that we did, because we needed to build a very large infrastructure, was we raised about $60 million initially. I was realizing that because of all the investment that's been made in the last decade or more on and around the internet, cloud computing, fulfillment infrastructures, what's called SaaS, like service as application, or it's a kind of buy the drink model for having access to a variety of software and services that's now available to any of us really inexpensively. The models are essentially that we only pay for what we need. And so that really changes everything. And I realized that I could probably do a photo today for 10% of the $60 million that we raised. So one is, I think that the Mesh is the future because it's efficient, effective, and it allows us to embrace the inheritance that we have, which is this incredible infrastructure. Two is that we're able to leverage the knowledge and expertise of a lot of different partners and people around the world because, again, of this technology platform. So if you're an entrepreneur thinking, how can I use the Mesh to the best advantage, here's what I would do, and here's what I'm doing, actually. One is I see that the opportunity is to make mistakes early, to get out there and try some things, to learn from mistakes early because those are the inexpensive ones, and those are also the ones that you'll get out in front of competitors. Secondly, I think that the Mesh really offers these bite-sized opportunities. It's a perfect platform since you don't have to build the whole infrastructure and many of these services exist. You could just buy the drink. You could just buy the bits that you need and partner with people so that you can put something together to market. I would encourage everyone to start to engage and to experiment and to start to see how the Mesh will define and can define your brand and your business.